Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I don't know if it's just me, but I get pretty excited when I go to buy a new set of tyres for the motorbike. Now, I've got these tyres on, which are the ones that come out on the bikes, which are Dunlop. I think they're called Trail Max. Let me just have a look. What have you got there? It's got twist around here. Dunlop Trail Max Mixed Tour tyres. Now, they've been pretty good. Now, they've probably only been worn down by about, I don't know, probably 10-20%, so they're still pretty good. I'm going to keep them. I'm going to keep them in the shed and put them on next summer. I've got a big trip coming up, so I'm going to be changing these tyres. Going to be changing them out to Motoz Tractionator GPS. Now, I've had the GPS tyres on my Suzuki V-Strom, and they performed really well. They're a bloody good tyre, and I'll talk more about that as we go through this segment today. Now, some of the things I like about the Motoz GPS, well, one, as I had it on the other bike, they lasted quite a long time. I think I got about close to 8,000 kilometres out of it by the time I got rid of the bike, and it probably had another 8,000 left in the tyres. The front tyre is directional, the rear tyre is bi-directional, if that makes any sense. So one way, it's good for roads like this, hard pack surfaces, light gravel, bit of light sand and all that sort of stuff. And if you flip them around, you can use them for more gnarlier sort of stuff. So as you flip them around, I suppose the direction of the tread, the lugs on the side, point in a different direction and give you more side grip to obviously help you grip the road and get over rocks and stuff like that, over the more gnarlier sort of stuff. So that's a bit of a bonus. I'm just going to put mine in the standard direction for road riding, because this bike here, the Honda Transalp, well, it's not a bike that I'm going to be doing the really hard, gnarly riding on like I do on the DRZ or some of my other bikes, or even the Tenere. Not that you couldn't, but I'm just not going to. This is my adventure tourer. This is set up for touring, and I want that comfort. And I think the big bonus about the GPS is the back tyre's got that spine on it, a solid rubber spine. Now, I'm not sure if that spine's harder rubber than side rubber, I don't know, or softer, I don't know, vice versa, I don't know, or the technical side of the tyre and stuff like that. And the good thing about that spine is it gives you a nice smooth ride on the road, yet it gives you grip as well. It's fairly grippy. So once you've got a bit of weight on, the bike, you know, obviously pushes down on the tyre, and the tyre splays out a little bit, and you start to get those treads on the side kicking in, especially when you're cornering. Holds onto the road quite well, and in the sand and the gravel, as you drop down, that spine will drop down into the sand and the gravel. Then the side lugs, they'll kick in and do their job. So yeah, pretty good. So you got to be realistic about these bikes. You know, what are you buying the bike for? This is an adventure touring bike. It's not a hardcore off-road bike. It's, you know, you don't see anyone like Paul Terez or anyone like that being sponsored to throw them around too much. Could you do it? Yes, you could, if you're a bloody good rider like them. But let's face it, at the end of the day, you know, they were super professional riders, highly skilled, and they got super modified bikes. So I'm sure if you've got that sort of rider on this caliber of bike and did all those alterations and, you know, 20 takes for every bloody stunt that they do until they get it right, you can look pretty bloody good. So yeah, I think when it comes to tyres and anything you buy for your bike, it's a bit like horses for courses. You know, what is this horse meant to be doing? You know, is it a racing horse? Is it going to do the I don't know, a bloody Melbourne Cup? Is it a draft horse? Is it going to be pulling a load? Is it a donkey? I don't know, you tell me. So basically you've got to classify your bike, and I suppose a lot of times buy your parts to suit that as to what you're doing 98% of the time, rather than buying parts for a bike on the basis of something you might do, you wish to, or you're hoping to do, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, back. So here we are, Moto Adelaide. So what have they got here now? They've got CF Moto, BMW, Honda, KTM, got all the breeds. Okay, service parking, let's go up there. Ooh, some nice bikes. Martin, keep your wallet in your pocket. Okay, so we've got the new Motoz GPS tyres on the Transalp, looking good. Got the old tyres up here, I'm going to keep them. They've still got plenty of tread on them, so I'll either donate them to another rider, or, I don't know, may reuse them next year, see how we go. One thing I've noticed, and I haven't even left the car park, is how light the front end is. Yeah, so I don't know if that's good or bad. Certainly the bike feels a lot more directional. Maybe the other tyres were a bit more rounded and probably a bit more, I don't know, softer, I suppose, compared to these. Yeah, what's going on here? They are fairly quiet on the road. You don't get a lot of whining noise or that sort of a, I suppose, a grinding noise, gurring noise that you get on Adventure tyres. I think most of the noise is probably coming from the front end, as that's a little bit more rugged, I suppose. It doesn't have that spine over it. But all in all, it's actually pretty good on this expressway. And yeah, very acceptable, not noisy at all. So, no need for earplugs or anything like that. Rides very well. I don't know what pressure the shop put in the tyres. I dare say they're quite up there, because it feels quite firm. I'm not getting a lot of vibration through the handlebars, which is a bonus. Obviously with a more aggressive front tyre and rear, you get a fair bit of vibration coming up through the steering system. Here I'm not feeling it, no more than the standard tyres that come out on this bike do I feel vibration. It's probably actually a little bit less, so I don't know, it might be just a placebo sort of effect, but yeah, I'm happy with that indeed. I think that's one of the things you've got to look at when you're I suppose buying tyres, and that is to consider things like, you know, the vibration that you're going to get up through the handlebars into the wrists and stuff like that, because that can be quite tiresome over a long trip. I did notice as I was pulling up to the roundabout there that there was a bit of vibration to come up through, but I think that's the, you know, the force of the bike, the weight of the bike falling forward, and putting pressure on that front tyre, so I was, you know, gripping a little bit harder there. But other than that, yeah, quite fine. So I've pulled up to have a closer look at the tyre, and this is the rib I was talking about. That's the main contact point for the road there, so that's perfect for riding on, I suppose, hard surfaces like this, tarmac roads, concrete and the like. And when you get off-road onto the dirt and gravel and the like, that's where these side lugs have really got to kick in. So as I was saying earlier, you know, I've ridden in sand with these and they've been really good. Now the tread on it's quite deep. You can see my finger in there. I think it's about 14 mils thereabouts. So I'll check that and I'll put a bit of a message down below there as to what they actually are. But you know, there's a bit of a bevel on it, so if you get any stones or anything like that in there, it's going to flick them out as the bike tyre goes around and it flexes. But I suppose the tread itself really comes into action when it does get deep and I suppose grinding in the sand and stuff like that, where these side lugs are really going to kick in and give you that little bit of extra traction for the sides. And also, because they are splayed out a little bit, they give you a bit of side protection of your side walls there, which are probably one of the more vulnerable areas of the tyre. I don't know if you can see this, but right there, I don't know if I can zoom in on, I'll get nice and close. It is that little arrow there, that's your directional arrow there, and just above it says mostly off-road. So if you're going mostly off-road, you turn the tyre around. If you're going on-road, it's 50-50. I'll see if I can get a close-up shot of that there. So yeah, so that's the back tyre. Really impressed with these. Yeah, big fan of the Motos tyre brand. Let's have a look at the front of the bike. It's fairly aggressive, just like the back one, but not overly aggressive. So you've got to get a happy balance, I suppose, between aggressiveness and, I suppose, smoothness on the road and the like. You probably can see this. Hopefully you can. I'll just turn towards the light. There's a bit of a chevron pattern here, which is really good because as it goes around on the road, or more so on the loose surfaces, it's going to act like a spade, a shovel, I suppose, a paddle, pushing the sand out, pushing the gravel and the like. And you can see this lines here, little channels designed to push out the water, push out the sand, what have you. And once again, the lugs sort of protrude a little bit out the side there, giving you that bloody awesome side protection there. This is not a reversible tyre, it's only one direction on the front, so which this has been set up for forward driving, of course. Yeah, and I said forward driving, not four-wheel driving there, if people are struggling with my accent. Okay, not much more to say about that. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in. That was a quick review of the Motos GPS Tractionator tyres. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, share, all that sort of stuff. So keep safe, keep upright, and thanks for watching.